ASMR video. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another Simone ASMR video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Especially liking, it really helps like boost the channel. Guys, my skin is so dry. There's really very little I can do to like, oh Lord, because it's winter time. But anyway, how are you guys? I just want to do a little mini chit chat and talk with you guys. I really don't have a lot of time, but I decided to just use the last few minutes that I have free today to record this so that I can edit and upload as I'm at work on my breaks and stuff. So I wanted to talk about choosing friends. You guys, when I was younger, I wasn't a very picky person when it came to friends. I didn't really have a campus, except if you were like really, really like bad. But even then, we could still be friends. I just wouldn't participate in the stuff that you did. So I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do any of those things, the traditional bad things. So all I can say is I didn't grow up quicker than I'm meant to. So that whole phase skipped me. I wasn't boy crazy when I was younger. I was a late bloomer. And my mom was very strict, so I couldn't really be up and about like that and get that exposure, even if I wanted to be. And then I'm trying to think. And then when I got to college, that was about the first time when I started picking my own friends, and I had a couple of friends who were problematic. And guys, if you I went to school in a small community and in a small college and everything, and what tends to happen is people get labels and the labels just stick. And I'll tell you about this one time. So there was this one girl who I didn't really know her that well, but she always hung around in the same friend group, and she was so nice and kind to some extent, and you could really tell that she was trying to get along with the international students and really get that exposure. And for a lot of people, when you study abroad, for a lot of people, you are their first exposure to something that is completely different, and some people are very much looking for that, and so they kind of try to get in where they fit in. And she wasn't too much, it wasn't like, sometimes you feel like people kind of treat you like a fetish or like a petting zoo. She was just genuinely curious and genuinely friendly. And she also needed some perks that came along with what we did. And so we got along really well. I respected her. Once in a while, I'd sit at lunch with her and everything, and I thought we built a friendship. And then this is where things went south. I don't really want to talk about that. Let's talk about something else. So then she used to live in the apartments on campus, but they were apartments at a certain point. And I used to live somewhere further, like similar, but like it was a newer building, and it was out of the way, on campus but out of the way. And so she was like, you know what, you should come hang out with me and everything. I cook on these days and everything. Let's come have a plate. And I always would postpone. Guys, first of all, Southern food is fire. When people say they cook, go, because you're gonna enjoy it. So I eventually went to get a plate one time, and we hung out and we chit-chatted, and the whole time it was gossip, the whole time. And I understand that, because sometimes when you're meeting somebody new, whatever energy, like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I gave the I don't gossip energy. I always wanted to know the tea. But I remember just being so shocked. Like, literally the question would be like, so what do you do on campus? And I'm like, oh, I work with this office and I do 1, 2, 3. And she'd be like, every single person, this girl had the tea. Now, FYI, she was obviously more involved in the community that, in the campus community, and she knew a lot of stuff. But when I told you, she told me was so like, I didn't need to know this. You know, like, as I was talking to her, I just kept on hearing, I don't need to know this, I don't need to know this, I don't need to know this. And these were all people who had been very kind to me. And then one of my bosses, she was like, oh, your boss? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, and she's like, oh no, she's cheating on her man. You know, they're in a long distance relationship, and she's got somebody out here, and she's also with him. And you guys, the way those things messed with my head, like till today, when I see pictures of my boss, and FYI, like, my boss and her boyfriend, then they got married. So clearly they really seemed like they were together for the long haul. We were all waiting for the engagement ring. We were so, you know, she was such a cool, fun, nice boss, and we were all so invested in her relationship. And when she said all that stuff, I was like, okay, again, something I didn't need to know. I found out all the tea about people, like everything, you know, because she was really cool with a lot of people. I don't want to lie, she was really involved, and she found out a lot of tea. And I also feel like the reason why she had all this information is because people overshared with her, which is not, when I say overshare, I mean they trauma dumped on her, you know. And I just feel like that was obviously unfair, and she didn't know what to do with that information, so she just passed it along. I've been there in life. And so I remember sitting there eating this darn good food. Oh yeah, eating this darn good food. Now, she did share a little bit about her personal life and her personal experiences and things like that, which was really nice. But as we ate and we shared food, I just realized I can't be cool with this girl. Like, this is not a fun hangout. We spoke about our personal lives and shared personal things, but everything I shared, I got the lowdown on something else, and I don't want to even know this much information about people. When I went to college and I was going to a small town, and I realized I was going to be in a small town, I kind of realized like my etiquette has to be completely different. Guys, if you live in a small town and you don't fit in, I didn't fit in. And not like I was anti, but I knew this wasn't for me, you know, and I didn't enjoy being there. I already took the stance of I'm going to be as minimal interaction with this place as possible, the city at large. That's not to say I didn't participate, I did, but I didn't want to know people's personal business. I didn't really grow any personal relationships except for the people who I knew they were going to leave after. So the college students, anyone who was staying or who lived in that area, I didn't really develop a personal connection with. I will be honest, because I knew I was going to be up and out of there as soon as possible. Not as soon as possible, but as soon as I was done. So that was it. And I just knew, like, I can't carry this friendship into my future, you know. I just knew I couldn't carry the friendship into my future. And that was one of the first times in my life that I knew that someone wanted a friendship with me, but that I wasn't going to participate. Other times before that, it was always easy. It was always just, if I say my interests and if I say what I do and don't do, it just naturally pushed away. You know, naturally you gravitate towards people who are similar to you and whatnot. And besides the whole being very negative, this girl and I had seemingly similar interests. She was high ambition, really lovely, but she was high ambition, focused, aspirational, wanting to get out of there, all these positive things, open-minded, but too negative. Couldn't handle it. And there have been other times where I've thought I can't be friends with people, but then I realized I misjudged them or misunderstood. Like one time I had a very good friend of mine. She had a lot of trauma and anxiety, and I didn't understand it. I had never shared debilitating anxiety, and I didn't understand it. And she was doing all these wrong things for her life, and I didn't understand what was going on. And then now that I'm older, I get it. But even back then, I realized that like something's going on with this girl. And so I didn't know how to be there for her, but I remember recommending that she go to the counseling center. I reached out to a senior and I said, hey, somebody told me that they were SA'd. It wasn't here. on campus, but they were SA'd, and also I think they're having other issues. And she was like, oh, that's a good candidate for the counseling center. I recommended it and it helped actually a lot. She was having panic attacks and stuff. If you come from certain cultures like I come from, people don't really believe panic attacks are real, and mental things are real, and they think it's either you're making it up, you're not strong enough, or you have spiritual attacks. I still consider that girl one of my good friends. She was there for me, but ultimately we're cool now, but I knew our trajectories in life were going a little bit different, and I couldn't keep her in my life. I really couldn't. But yeah, those are a couple moments where, I had to make a decision about friendship early on without really getting to know someone, because I was always the give them a chance kind of person. And now that I'm older, I just follow my intuition as best as I can. That's not to say it's final, but like, you can always observe people from a distance and make decisions about whether they need to be in your inner circle or not. This is all coming from the fact that I saw some beef between Tamar and Jessie Woo, and I just thought that when I hear this, I just see people who are grown adults who don't know how to filter who's a good friend and who's not, or who's a good match of a friend and who's not. They're co-workers, so I don't even know why they even hang out after work. Not that you shouldn't, but you have to be very careful with those kind of things, because when the friendship is